All right, here we are. I haven't had a few Insta Lives here in the last 5 or 6 days because we have been busy with the 10X boot camp in Miami, Florida, where we had a remarkable 3 days there with the whole Cardone team and Frank Kern, myself, and there were, 600 people there or something. So it was unbelievable. We had a meeting with a bunch of private business owners. There's probably 30 or 40 of them there. And I asked a question, and I thought that this question would be appropriate for a live because it's so important. And the question that I asked those business owners was, could you imagine building your business for 10 or 15 or 20 years only to find out at the end of that period of time that it wasn't worth anything? Now, some people would ask, like, how could that possibly be? And I'll say what was interesting is when I started breaking down what happens when you go to sell your business or what happens in the growth cycle of your business if you don't grow it correctly. And I started using real life examples of people who had, say, supply agreements or contracts in place with vendors or suppliers that had 90-day termination provisions, that had no assignment provisions, and they get into selling their business and they get to close, and the buyer goes to get the assignment on the supply agreements, and the suppliers say, no, we're not going to do it. In fact, the business has been so well built in that marketplace, we're thinking of open a corporate office, and we'll just open up our own retail or our own whatever, and all of a sudden the seller's sitting there with a buyer trying to close who just realized that the supplier held all the leverage. Well, it's not just in supply agreements. If I told you about how many businesses, I'll give you another example. I had a guy that I was working with up in Seattle. I kept telling him, dude, you can't wait. His business was $600,000 of revenue. And I said, you have to put the proper foundations in place if you believe, and this is a question I ask everyone, and anybody that's been talking to me knows it. Fast forward 3 years from now or 10 years from now, if you're yourself then looking backwards, what did you accomplish? What are you most proud of? What do you want the size of your business to be? Then I ask the question, if that's the case, when they articulate that, what do you have in place today to ensure that that happens? I'll give you an example. The guy in Seattle, I asked him that. He was $600,000. He grew the business to be in over $50 million. Well, he went to sell it, and because he never put the discipline in place, none of his employees had non-competes. None of his employees had non-solicitations. The last 5 or 6 years in the business, he got lazy, and he was leaving it up to his top 3 guys. So what happened? He went to him and told him he wanted to sell the business, ran through the whole process. His employees found out how much the business was worth. They realized, well, we're the ones doing the business. We're the ones with the relationships. We're the ones doing the operations. We're the ones doing all the finance. And we don't have any no-competes. We don't have any non-solicitations. So they went to the owner and said, we want to buy the business. He said, well, this is the price it's worth. And they said, we don't want to pay that much. We want to pay half that. He said, half of it? Why would I ever sell the business for half of it? That's worth twice as much. And so he went to sell the business to a buyer, got all the way up to almost close, and the whole team walked out and took a whole bunch of his business with them. And guess what he's doing now? He's back in his business by himself with a business that's lost a whole bunch of core people, core assets, all the intrinsic knowledge with customers he, for the last 5 years, has not built any relationship with. Now you'd say, well, who would do that? I'm going to tell you, I have personally experienced and guided businesses or looked at buying businesses where this had happened over the last 10 or 15 years on numerous occasions. In fact, I'll bet you those kind of things happen more than the businesses actually close. And where you really see this is with private equity groups. They'll come in and they'll say, oh, okay, so these suppliers, I see that you don't have any long-term agreements. Your employees, your key employees, you don't have non-competes or non-solicitation agreements. And so they're in the process of buying, and the business owner says, yeah, no, they're loyal, and the supplier's great. And then they go to close. They do the quality of earnings audits, and then they go to close, and they say, well, these things are all at risk. So we want to put 40% of the purchase price into an earnout, and we want you to guarantee that these businesses won't leave over the next 3 to 5 years. And now you've trapped yourself into putting a bunch of your sale price up in earnout, and you got to stay in the business. And the whole purpose was you're trying to get out of the business. So you say, oh, no, I know it's going to be good. And they say, since you know it's going to be good, then you don't mind escrowing the money. And if it doesn't work, we don't have to pay you. So what I'm saying, there are millions of little traps you can get into every single day. If you want to build your business to the highest value possible, you want to protect that investment, you want to protect that value, you must go to CardoneVentures.com, and you have to register to come to one of our 10X 360s. This is the kind of stuff we talk about. And believe it or not, in that one meeting, there was 3 different business owners where that had happened to them. So they're starting over. So anyhow, Cardone Ventures, 10X 360, you need to come and join us if you're building your business, if you're thinking of building your business, or if you're in the middle of building your business, or you're thinking of selling your business in the next 3 to 5 years. If we have 3 to 5 years, we can totally protect your business, position it for maximum value, make sure you're clear, you will clear your quality of earnings audits, and protect the value that you've built in your business. And if you're on the startup of building your business, let's get the foundational pieces in place today. Don't wait until it's too late. Every business owner always says, I'll take care of it later. They never take care of it. And then when they go to sell, it'll bite you in the ass. CardoneVentures.com. Come to one of our 10X 360. We have 2 scheduled. We have the August, 3rd week of August, and we have the 2nd week of September. If you want to come to that, then hit me up on CardoneVentures.com, direct message me on this, and I'll get you registered and scheduled and the details for that. For those of you that I saw this weekend, man, what an amazing time. It's just always awesome when you get a bunch of forward-thinking thought leaders, business owners who are growing and developing together. And that's what was going on this weekend. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it's helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask any questions. If not, just direct message me off of this and let's have a conversation, or go visit me at CardoneVentures.com and register for our next 10X 360, 10X 360. It's going to be an amazing time. So we've got 2 scheduled, August and September. So let's either ask a question or register and see us there. Thanks.